Hello, cherries. Welcome to Live Jerry Cherry Sunday, episode 68. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to play multiple scales across the fretboard. And this is very cool. It's very fun to do because you could just play the same licks everywhere, and because of that, they sound different. Like the same licks in different positions on the neck actually sound different based on the string you're using, the area of the neck. You know, you've heard of the sweet spot before, right? You know, a lot of times right here in the middle of the guitar tends to be sometimes some of the sweetest sounds that you can get out of it, you know? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a chart or a graph of just the E notes, all of the E notes all over the neck, and we're going to go through some different scales, and we're just going to go right to those E notes, and we're going to play the scales right on those E's. And I have a few different loops that I created so that could really emphasize the different sounding scales. But the really cool thing about this is that we're going to look at the E's, right? E here, E here, E here, E here, E here, here. And we're not going to really concern ourselves with proper fingering technique. We're just going to look at the E and we're going to visualize that scale that we're playing. Hello, Tom G. How you doing? So, like I always do, I'm going to go ahead and put the start of the lesson in the timestamp above the in the description. So I'm going to say hello to Tom G and Rockin' the Rockies. So let me say hello. I'll give you guys a round of applause. So I will put the beginning of the lesson in the timestamps. So I just want to say hello to Rockin' the Rockies and Tom G. And I have, if you stick around to the very end of the video, which won't be too long, I promised Tom that I would show him the little intro riff to Madman Across the Water from Elton John. So it's a little harmonic thing. That'll just, hopefully I have it right. Rockin' the Rockies. Good to see you. I do have a question too, Rockin' the Rockies too, before we get into the lesson. Last time I saw you, and it's good to see you, you had mentioned something about the a certain scale that you were working on, and it stuck with me ever since you had mentioned that. And it was like a, I forgot what it is that you had told me, but it turns out it's the Phrygian scale. It's like but it's another name that for the Phrygian scale. But I looked it up, and it's just the Phrygian scale. And let me know if you could remind me of the name of that scale that you were talking about, that you were working on a lot. So it's another name for the Phrygian, the regular Phrygian scale. It's like a I forgot the name of it. You'll have to help me out with this one. So all right, so we'll come back to that. So let's get started on this. This is really cool. I'm going to show you. I'm going to switch over to this camera right here. We can see my guitar a little better. And I have a little graph here. And this one is all the E's on the guitar, but only up to the 12th fret. So it's really easy to see. And you can picture out. It's funny when you look at these graphs, and it seems very obvious, especially if you've been playing for a while. But sometimes when you stare at these graphs, you start to see things that you never really noticed as a guitarist. Just the way that they're worked out. The patterns are all worked out. So you were talking about the harmonic minor scale in Phrygian. Actually, it was something else. That you mentioned the flamenco. You mentioned a flamenco scale. And I looked that up, and someone was playing it. It turned out it was just a Phrygian. But that's another cool scale you bring up here. The the harmonic minor with the Phrygian dominant. That's just a great scale right there. And we could do a little bit of that as well today. But I want to show you that if you look at these E's right here, these are all the E's. That's it. Really simplify this. You know, it's like you look across the neck. If you look at the half the fretboard, you only have one E really on each string, except for the open strings. Yep, flamenco scale. So, oh, you're saying that the E, the Phrygian mode, the Phrygian dominant is a flamenco scale? Because I noticed that this particular girl was playing the flamenco scale, and she was just playing a straight Phrygian scale. And actually, it was really cute and everything, but she was actually not really emphasizing the Phrygian mode. She was playing a B Phrygian, but the chord progression she was playing was a G chord. So technically, you could play a B Phrygian scale position, but if you have a G chord under that, you're just playing the G major scale. It wasn't until she played the G minor that she was playing the actual B Phrygian. That's a whole nother lesson, right? So look how easy, once you see like just the E's, right? You have an open E, and you have an E on the 12th string, 12th fret. Then you have on the A string, you have one E. It's right here on the 7th fret. On the D string, you have an E right here. On the G string, you have an E right here. And on the B string, you have an E right here. And you can just follow me right here on the chart, right there. The open E, and then this high octave. And the way you look at this chart is, if you look at the bottom left, that's if you're looking down on your headstock. It's the low E, A, D, G, B, and E string. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at each E, and we're going to play the scale from that E. We're not going to think of any fingerings, any perfect, proper fingerings, but we're just going to see the interval. And we're just going to play around that area, and then you'll see how much fun it is. Because you'll get out of just one area playing. And I'm not trying to link all of them together, but I think naturally, you just will. Naturally. So here's a little groove that I created with an E chord. You can just play the E. We'll start off with the E minor pentatonic scale. Check it out. And then I'll mix in like the blues scale with it too. We'll start with the lowest E, right? Just in an open E. Now I'm up to this next E on the D string. I could do all these same riffs on this E. We'll play the open E. I could bend up to it. Hello, Bobby! Good to see you. Check it out. I'm looking at these E's on the chart, and I'm just playing the minor pentatonic scale on it. I'll take this E right here, the same scale. Go to this E. Notice how I can play the same riffs, but they sound different. See, it sounds a little thicker right here. And what's cool about playing it here is that if the chord goes to an A, you're right here, right next to the A really quick, as opposed to, well, there's another A there, but it just gives you another, instead of getting out of the one shape right here. So I'm picturing the intervals. I'm picturing the 5th, the 3rd, the 7th. I'm not looking at any particular fingering or trying to be proper. I'm giving you the blues. Aaron, what's happening? So, even play the minor, the blues scale. Let's take it up to here. What I could do is I'll give you a whole visualization of the whole fretboard. Now these are all the E's right here. We'll take it up past the 12th fret. Here's an E, pentatonic. Here's another E on the 14th fret, D string. Then you have the 17th fret here. So I'm just looking at the E. Woke up this morning and played the blues. So I'm just visualizing all the E's on the neck. And I'm picturing the pentatonic scale with it. From the open E down here. That E. This E. This E. Blind lemon cherry. Alright, so if you're enjoying this, please tap the like button, hammer on the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. I think today I'm going to hit 1,000 subscribers. It's really cool because I actually hit 1,000 subscribers earlier today, and then I lost a subscriber, went back down to 999. So I don't even know anymore what's happening. So, all right, thank you, Aaron. I'll see you at 4 o'clock for his great live show on his channel. And so hopefully you guys are getting this. Now what's cool about this also is we're not going to just stick, which is the blues right here. Okay? We have a another progression that we could do, the major pentatonic scale. I have another little progression here that I looped. Now, just looking at all these E's, play the E major pentatonic scale. So I'm going to look at every E, and I'm going to just play the E major pentatonic around it. I'm going to try to play with as much feeling as I possibly can. Here's an E right here. In the last couple of bars, you could actually just play a minor to give it a little bit more of a bluesy feel, right? You can mix up the scales if you want. But the whole idea is to just not be caught up in one particular area. Just kind of looking at the E. E major pentatonic. Blue scale. Major pentatonic. In this area right here. All right, so that's another way you can do it. E major pentatonic. Now I'm just kind of looking at all these different E's that you see in this graph right here. And, you know, that's very cool of you, Aaron. Thank you very much for that. And I could do the same. The feeling is mutual. Aaron does a great live at 4 o'clock on his channel, Aaron Short Music, which I'll be there today for. Chilling out, listening to some great tunes. It's a great vibe, great community up there. And so hopefully you're enjoying this. I got a little 60 cycle hum going on here. Pickups. So now we're going to move along to looking at the same notes, E, but we have a new scale here. We're going to play the Mixolydian scale. So it's just a major scale with a flat 7, but I'm going to, once again, focus on the E's from the lowest to the bottom. I'm looking at the interval of where this open E is in my 7th. Hear the sound of that? I'm picturing the E in the relationship with the dominant 7th. Play from this E right here. I know it's major, so I'll play the major 3rd. It's perfect 5th. 7th. Play this E right here. Up here. All right, so we got that one. So hopefully you're enjoying this. Let's move on to the next one. We've got 2 more we can get through. Hopefully you're catching all this and enjoying that. 999 subs. Playing the octaves. Yeah. Does your telly make that noise when you take your hands off? Yeah. I got the 60 cycle, especially if this distortion's on. If it's not on. What if I have this distortion on? Single coils. And I've always hated that. I was never a single coil person, but you know what? Then I fell in love with this tone of this telly. Thank you, Tom. Glad you're getting something out of this. Very cool. Playing the octaves. Playing the octaves. That's the whole idea. And actually, I just made a video. The easiest way to memorize the guitar fretboard. And it really is a great video. If you haven't seen that, if I don't say so myself, I'll put a card above here and a link in the description for the easiest way to memorize the guitar fretboard. So check that out. I just released it last week. And so I think even though I've been playing forever, this is something that I've really never really done too much of, where I just kind of focus on not trying to play, you know, like 3 notes per string anywhere. But I'm really focusing on just the E and the particular scale and how I'm visualizing the intervals. I'm visualizing the 7th, you know, like all right. So we'll move on to the next one. We'll do a Lydian, and with this one, it's basically just like a major scale, only has a sharp 4. So now I'm going to play the E, but I'm going to visualize the 5th and the sharp 4. I'm going to visualize the roots everywhere. As I'm playing the root, I'm going to picture, I know I can go to the 5th here, but I'm going to think about where the 4th is next to the 5th right here. And a major 7th. So check this out. This is a good one. It's a Lydian progression. I'll play this E right here. The Simpsons. It is this thing. From this low E. I know I got the sharp 4 right here. This E right here. But this E. You come up with all kinds of riffs. Okay, and another one you could do with this is play the Lydian dominant. So you could take that same scale and do one other thing to it. Flat the 7th. So now you have a flat 4 and a flat 7. It's pretty cool too. Sounds like this. Has more of a bluesier sound to it, right? I'm just visualizing the E. Visualizing the 7th, sharp 4. All right. Let's see. All right, so we got one more scale to do here, and hopefully you're enjoying this. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe. You might be the 1,000th subscriber. I don't know. I had 999 when I first started. It only took me 2 years to get there. So, but thank you guys for all your support, getting me to 1,000. A lot of hard work, but I enjoy every second of it. Because after all, we're playing guitar. What else could you want in this world, right? So, all right. So we got one more we'll go through before we call it a day here. And but just so you know, I post a new guitar video every week. I also go live every Sunday at 1 o'clock, like I am right now. And so that's really cool what we're doing here today, playing some music, trying to get better at the guitar. So let's do this one last one, and it's what could be last? The minor scale. So we'll do a little minor. Now we're going to look at all the E's, but we're going to focus on the simple minor scale, natural minor. Low E. I'm going to emphasize what I believe makes up, or what obviously makes up a minor scale, and try to pick out the notes, like the C, which is a minor 6. Hear this minor 6. A minor 3rd, of course. Take this open E. E on the B string. I'm visualizing the 7th. E right here. Or an E right up here. Fake wah wah. All right. Thank you guys. Glad you enjoyed that. As I promised, for Tom G, there's a little, he had mentioned Elton John, Madman Across the Water. I think that the riff is like a, where is it? What happened? Oh, my tone knob was down. Thank you so much, Aaron. 1,000 subs. I'm not even sure if I'm there yet. You tell me. Because I had 1,000, like I said, and then it was 999. I think it's going to teeter between the number for the rest of my life. Is that it? Something like that at the very beginning of Madman Across the Water from Sir Elton John. There's like an A minor, and then G. Then it hits these harmonics on the G. Then those harmonics. Jamie Ross. Here's one big suggestion. Last week's video should have been your first learning the major scale because all the scales come from the... You know what? You're absolutely right. Was that last week's? What did I do last week? Last week? Man, I don't remember what I did last week. This is the 68th week. And, but last week's video should have been your first learning the major scale. But it sure is. I mean, you're right. Every scale is based off of the major scale. You're just tweaking it. I heard a great, and check this out on YouTube if you ever get a chance. The famous composer Leonard Bernstein does like a 8-part music theory talk with the piano, and some of the things, he goes through all the modes, and it's really cool, and he explains every mode as basically a major scale, and then he talks about what's different about, which is kind of a common thing, but he puts it in a very, very good way to where it's really cool, especially coming from such a legendary composer like Leonard Bernstein, right? So, but you're absolutely right about that, Rockin' the Rockies. Every one of these scales, every one of these things that I did is based off of the major scale. And actually, I was supposed to play the major scale over one of these progressions, and I didn't. I left it out. The one that I played, the major pentatonic scale, you could easily play the major scale everywhere on that particular progression. And Jamie Ross, Jamie, can you make a digital fretboard turn the other way so it matches your hand? You know, there's so many different ways to do that. I've done it lots of different ways. And yeah, you're right. Sometimes when you look at this, it makes sense if it's actually opposite. Because when you look at if you look at my guitar, you're seeing this, and you almost want to see like, yeah, I see it, Jamie. So yeah, I'm answering your question. Maybe I'm a little late on the response here, latency wise. But if you look at the fretboard, if I put it that way, you'd see it. But you know what? Just as many people prefer it this way as you preferring it the other way. But you actually get used to it. If you look at it like this way, it makes sense, because if you were looking at, if somebody was charting tablature, or if they're charting sheet music, you're looking at music from the bottom left across to the right, and you're reading, or even if you're reading anything, a book, you're looking from the left to the right. So this way, you're actually looking from the left to the right. And you're also, if you're writing tablature, I don't know if you ever read any tablature, try to pick up a song or a lick using tablature, but the way tablature is written is like this as well. It's written in sequence from left to right. If I went the other way, you'd be reading from right to left. And I think that if you just kind of like, if you visualize looking at this chart as, if you look down on your headstock like this, that's exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the low E, the A, the D. It's like this. You know, I'm looking down on the headstock, and I'm seeing, and I can't really point to it, but I'm seeing all the notes, you know, going like that. And just try. I've tried like the other way, like you said. I've tried going straight up, you know, and I found that most people do it like this. And you could also see on this easier fretboard here that there's all the E's right there. And I have another thing that I made that's like, that's all the notes. This one right here, what's like you could see like the down 2, over 2, or up 2 for all the octaves, and down 2 over 3. So you're really picturing that's really what the octaves look like. So, yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but I see. It works alone by myself. When I'm looking backwards, I have thoughts on the road. Get the third one. That works alone by myself. When I'm looking to use just backwards, I have to do it though on the road to get the third one, which I'm doing. Just seeing two versions, I have to put them both together. Takes too long. So, yeah, it's a little tricky seeing that, but I find that I'm starting to do it that way more because it's more of a standard. I see most people doing it that way. So I'm trying to join the club, you know what I mean? The Mickey Mouse Club. Rockin' the Rockies, A, B, C, D, F, G, major scale. If you wanted to change to harmonic minor scale, you would look at it like, exactly. Yep. Just one note difference. That's it. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Change to G sharp. And you know, real quick, not to get into too much on the harmonic minor, but the reason why they came up with the harmonic minor scale is so that, because if you played A minor, if you played the 5 chord of that, it would be an E minor, right? Because the A minor has a G, E minor has a G. So it's not really a strong cadence going back to A, right? So if you hit this E minor to A, E minor, A. So they said, you know what? Let's take this E and let's make it an E. Instead of an E minor 7, let's make it an E major 7. Listen to the difference. E major 7. Nice. Instead of E minor 7. It could work. I mean, it's just more of a smoother, less strong pull to resolve. But that's what everyone does. So what that does is it takes the G and it makes a G sharp. So now if you go back and you look at the A minor scale with a G sharp, that's how you have a harmonic minor. And people started emphasizing the G sharp on the A. Now, if you play an E root note and play a harmonic minor, you have the Yngwie scale, the dominant. You have the Phrygian dominant, because Phrygian would just be E minor. It would be this. With the G, right? If I put an E, if I wrote an E and I played the A minor scale, that would just be a Phrygian scale. But if I play G sharp in there, I'm making the E major, emphasizing the 7 chord, like. So it really goes back to A minor. And they utilize that a lot in scales. I mean, even in Hotel California, they'll play an A minor. And when it goes to the E, they'll play A minor. Then they'll play G again. You know, when it goes to the E. So anyway, that's a whole nother lesson. But we'll get more into harmonic minor because that's great. I haven't played that in a little while. But thank you so much, Rockin' the Rockies, for bringing that up, man. Love that. That's like the best scale ever, right? Then there's actually 7 different modes of the harmonic minor. There's some other interesting ones in there too. If you start on a different note, really, really cool scales in there. So, like if I was to play a D and play that same scale, you'd have you have a diminished arpeggio in there. Back to A minor. Diminished. Oops. What is diminished? What is diminished with me? Well, thank you guys for hanging out today. Episode 68 in the books. Hopefully you found this helpful. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your day. I went a little bit longer today, but we had some fun. So hopefully you picked up something good from this. If you have any questions about it, just let me know in the comments section. If any ideas for next week, what you'd like me to go over. Rockin' the Rockies, if there's anything on the harmonic minor that maybe you could tell me about, let me know, and we could mess around with this stuff together. So it's great seeing you. Thank you. Hopefully that song that you picked up at the beginning of Madman Across the Water a little bit better. And ABCs of guitar. That's right. It's the alphabet. That's the only alphabet we know that we need, right? But check out the video that I just released on last week. It was the easiest way to memorize the fretboard. And I basically keep it simple. I use all the natural notes. And then I show you how you could find the flats and sharps from the natural. But it's basically the ABCs. So really trying to simplify. And the more I simplify, the more I learn the stuff as well. Because it's really fun to look back and do this. 100,000 Years Kiss. 100,000 years. Man, I have to go back and listen to that one. There really isn't a bad Kiss song. Up until, until Ace left. So anyway, guys, I love you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Happy Sunday. Keep that guitar warm. Remember, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you next week. All right, 1 o'clock. Ciao, y'all. Peace. Oh, one last quick thing. I go live on Facebook on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where I play originals and covers. Come hang out there, too. I'd love to see you. All right, ciao. Love you. Peace.